I want my kids to experience all the wonderful things our beautiful world has to offer. So when I heard they could learn about the butterfly life cycle up close and at home, I knew I had to check out Insect Lure's Butterfly Garden. This all-in-one kit lets your child hold the wonder of metamorphosis in the palm of their hand. Watch your butterflies grow, then let them go. Head to insectlore.com to try this unforgettable experience. That's insect, INSECT, lore, LORE.com. Insectlore.com.
When you stay at a Verbo, you always get the whole home. Not part of it, but the whole upstairs, the whole downstairs, the whole fridge, the whole backyard, and the whole nap room. Because is it really a vacation home if you have to share it with a host? Only whole vacation homes. Always all yours. Book on the Verbo app.
Hello and welcome back to the Shamrock Sportscast. I am Sam.
My name is Evan Cummings.
And I'm Adrian. Surprise.
Special guest Adrian Wolf will be here today to talk some sports with us. It's going to be a fun day. We have a fun, unique little idea for you guys. But Evan, how has your week been?
It's been pretty good. I've been with the baseball team a lot. I also did some softball in the last week. Both teams which have been pretty successful. One of them more successful than the others. But I'm just ready to have another great podcast, Sam.
So it's been a tough week for the baseball team.
It has.
And you've been with them every step of the way.
Yes, I have.
Can you kind of fill us in on what the pulse is like for the team right now?
So we are currently on a 3-game losing streak. I know that's something that no one wants to hear, but since we last podcasted, we actually won 2 games in a row. We beat Cathedral at home 6-5, which was a very impressive win. It was something that it was a resume builder for sure. We followed that with the first game of the Brownsburg series was a win 7-0 at Brownsburg. I know Ty Anderson pitched a gem in that one. And then Friday, we had a little bit of a weird pitching situation where we started Colin Lindsay in the first inning, and then Preston Tam came in. Or was it Preston? I think it was. It was either Preston or Nana. Regardless, it was a good game pitching-wise, but we could not get the offense going. And you'll kind of start to see that trend in these next couple of games that we're about to talk about. We lost that game 2-1. Monday against Carmel, arguably our worst game of the season, definitely our worst game of the season by far. The pitching wasn't there, the offense wasn't there. We just did not play good at all, and we lost 19-2, and that's all I really want to say about that. And then yesterday, Wednesday's game, the first game of the Fisher series, we lost 10-0 in a run rule. Jack Brown was just a little too much for us on the mound and at the plate. He had his first AB was a home run, and then he kind of never looked back. I believe he went 3 for 3 on the day. So that was just a really frustrating loss. And tonight we play the second game of the Fisher series. The series as a whole got moved up one day because of, we are doomed tomorrow for weather. I don't think any outdoor sporting events are going to be played. And then, Saturday we play home at Newcastle. It says away on MaxPreps, but it's home.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good opportunity for the boys to sort of right the ship. Obviously, it's never fun playing against the best competition. It's never fun. Obviously, you have to do it, and, that's how you gauge yourself against the best teams in the state. But, with the emergence of Carmel this year, and think about it, too. Last year, we put an absolute beatdown on the Greyhounds, and you have to at least think that motivation may have helped Carmel, want to give it right back to us this year.
I talked to
certainly
Evan,
was the case.
Yeah, I talked to Evan Russ this year. After the game, he was like, "I don't know why everyone's surprised. This happens every year. It just flip flops every year because obviously this year we lost 19-2. Last year we won 19-1, and I believe our sophomore year we got blown out by Carmel. So that's a trend that I don't necessarily like. I don't think anyone really likes that a whole lot, but it's just something that happens between two very bitter rivals.
So how about softball?
Softball. Oh, let me check. I'm not prepared this morning, guys. I apologize. Also, shout out Aiden. I don't know why he's just not here this morning.
Got a text at 1:19 a.m. that Aiden would not be here today, which is good. We endorse it wherever he is at. But yeah, like I said, we have a fun little idea planned in a little bit. But while you look at softball, I'll talk a little bit about golf.
Yes.
Yeah, so back to last week, played HSC. Everyone played pretty solid. It was a little shaky down the stretch. Ended up getting beat by one with a 301. We shot a 301, which is a very respectable score, but HSC comes firing in with a 300.
Yeah.
Lose by one. Tough loss. Like I said, boys still played pretty well. Medalist was Jake Caesar with a 72.
He's the future, folks.
Jake is good. I'll tell you that. And you're gonna start to see that trend continue as I fill in the rest of the weekend. Played Saturday up at Warsaw, the Don Dicken Invitational, one of our favorite events of the year.
Yes.
We've won it 8 years in a row, and the boys came out firing. We sent out 2 teams. We sent out our 1 through 5, and then our 11 through 15. 1 through 5 shot a whopping 282, which is 2 under par, 2 off the school record in our first invitational of the year. Played really well. Jake with a 68, 4 under, or I think it was 3 under actually.
Par 71.
Par 71. And it was just a great performance from the boys. Also, our 6 through 10 boys went down to Hickory Stick for the Trojan Classic, I think, for Center Grove, and fired a 298, which was under 300 too. And like I said, these were our 6 through 10 guys. Not many 1 through 5s can break 300 in this state, but our 6 through 10 are doing the same thing. And that was a lineup that consisted of 3 freshmen. Ryan Caesar, who's the third of the Caesar boys, Hudson Kuchima, shout out Hudson, and then Mitchell Keene, 3 freshmen to go along with that. So that's very impressive. And boys continued their momentum with a win over Guerin and Carmel on Tuesday at Bridgewater. Jake, once again the medalist with a 71, played really well. Some other shout out, Gabe Nixon played the 6 for us that day, fired a 73.
Wow.
With a tripled hole 8, but was able to birdie enough holes to get back to just 1 over for the round. Like I said, big win, 292 for us, so very solid. But came out last night, played Guerin again, and didn't play as well. Shot a 158, and our low score was a 39. So it was just not a great performance for us. But that's okay, because we get to rebound right back and go up to Sandy Pines, which is where we won our regionals last year, and compete for a title there. So should be fun. Saturday will be a fun day. Also got a JV invite at Elwood Country Club. The Rocks sending 4 teams to that one. So should be a great weekend.
Absolutely. Diving into softball now. Since we've last seen you guys, it has not been pretty for the Rocks softball team. We went 1-4 in our last 5. The Wednesday that we did podcast, we lost to Greenfield Central at home 19-12. That was just a barn burner of a lot of offense and not a whole lot of pitching. And then the tournament in, I believe it was Kankakee Valley is where it was hosted, or maybe Lake Central. We went 1-2 on the day, with our first win coming in the earlier game, a 4-3 win over Kankakee Valley. We played at 10:30 that morning against Mishawaka. We lost 11-8, and then the time on here says 3 p.m. for the Lake Central game, but I'm pretty sure it was closer to 4 or 5 because of weather. It was 12. It was a 12-1 loss. So obviously not the pitching that we're looking for. And then Tuesday we lost away at Fishers 2-0. So I feel like a common trend that we're seeing with the softball and baseball teams is the offense is slowly deteriorating and the pitching isn't getting any better. So if both of these teams want to make sectional runs, then they got to step it up majorly. They got to play like a team. That is crucial. In the words of baseball coach Ryan Bunnell, playing like a team is way more important than playing for yourselves. And it's just, don't play selfish baseball. Don't play selfish softball. You got to be in it, for for a state championship. You got to play for each other.
Back to some news with boys and girls track. The distance kids had a big match. It's called the Flashes Showcase Miracle Mile, which is one of the most highly acclaimed matches of the year on their schedule. Ton of teams go, and it's one of the most fan-supported, recruited events that you'll see. Rocks with a pretty solid performance. Let's go to some highlights here. In the mile race, we had Colin Lacomic finishing first for Westfield. He finished 37th overall with a 4:24 mile. Obviously, That's very solid.
Yes.
And just behind him in, let's see here, in the 4x8, the Rocks finished ninth place with an 8:22, which is once again very, very solid.
Yes.
2-mile cumulative race. The girls also performed pretty well. For the team 4x8, they finished in 13th with a 10:30. Pretty solid. Like I said, there was a ton of teams at this event. So, and then some highlights from the 1-mile race. We had, one sec, it is loading. We had Liz Smith with a 5:29, finishing in 60th place. Pretty solid. With Emily Loisel, the freshman, or the sophomore, just behind her with a 5:32. So obviously this, these programs continue to carry off their success that they had in cross country, and we're seeing that in track so far this year.
Absolutely. When was the last time we talked about boys volleyball?
Last week.
Last week? All right, because we are currently riding a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game win streak, and we have not dropped a set in 7 games.
That's this team is dominant, dude.
They are so dominant. Our last loss was to Fishers on March 27th. We are coming up on a month without losing, and it doesn't look like we're going to lose that anytime soon. We have an away game at Park Tudor tonight. And then next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have games against Avon, Perry Meridian, and Chittard. That is home, away, and home. So we're looking very strong coming into the later parts of the year. A tournament ends out the year for the boys volleyball team against Roncalli, Cathedral, and HSE. We beat Cathedral. We did not beat HSE, and I don't think we've played Roncalli yet. No, we have not. So that is going to be very interesting coming into sectionals where you got to play your best ball. Yeah. But this team, 12-2, have only dropped 8 sets all year, and they've won 38. That is, if you look up dominance in the dictionary, you see Westfield boys volleyball. And that could not be more true. I'm very excited to watch this team progress more than they are.
Tonight we have a non-conference battle between two teams that are coming off statement wins. It's the 12-1 Center Grove Trojans taking on your 6-5 Westfield Shamrocks. Good evening, folks. I'm Rowan Elbert, and joining me tonight for the first time this season is Aiden McNally. He is not here yet, but he will be here. This is Game 3 of a 4-game homestand for Westfield, but let's start off by talking about Evan Russ. In his past 2 games, he is 5 for 6 with 4 RBIs and is now batting .412 on the season. So that is something to keep up with. And the pitching for Westfield tonight, Andrew Nicholson, the usual closer, he has a 1.1 ERA on the season. So his off-speed pitches are really good, and that could trip up this really good Center Grove team. And for Center Grove, pitching tonight is Connor Vander Luigarin. And he currently on the season has a 1.37 ERA. And obviously his last name is hard to pronounce. But this game tonight, 2 great pitchers with a sub-2 ERA. That should be a great matchup. And it looks like this is going to be a good game. And my score prediction for this game, Center Grove and Westfield, I hate to say it, but this Westfield team way too inconsistent. This Center Grove team's been dominant all year. I think Center Grove is going to pick up a 7-2 win. And now it looks like the first pitch is coming right about now. Noah Coy will be leading off for Center Grove. Coy on the season batting .325 with 3 triples actually. So that's something to look out for in this game. They're going to actually give that to Nicholson. That was just below the zone. Once again, that off speed is going to be something to look out for with Nicholson tonight. 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be in the dirt for ball 1. And joining us right now is Aiden McNally.
Hello, Rowan. This is going to be a very good matchup tonight. Obviously, one of the highest ranked teams in the state in Center Grove comes to Westfield.
And it looks like that will be off the glove of Drozlik and into right field, a hit for Coy. And that off speed with Nicholson. Once again, this Center Grove team, they could hit those slow pitches, and even with Nicholson, his fastball doesn't have the most velocity, so that could be an issue as one hit already allowed.
Absolutely, and we're going to see a lot of Trojans offense tonight. They're going to get very aggressive against Nicholson. Expect a lot of RBIs and hits.
Drew Culberson is up now for Center Grove, and this guy, he's just an absolute beast, and the pickoff throw is unsuccessful. He's batting .426 with 3 home runs, the shortstop Drew Culberson. So you can definitely expect him to make a big splash tonight. That one's just going to be just a little bit high on that pitch. It's going to be a 1-0 count. It looked
Nicholson
like the
already starting off with a lot of off-speeds here.
It looked like there the two-seam pitch just went a little bit too high. And that ball is going to be crushed into center field. And that one will drop in. That is just unfortunate. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Center Grove. A double for Drew Culberson.
And you can just tell there was just a little bit of miscommunication there out in the outfield. Can't tell who those 2 players were, but it was kind of in an awkward situation where the ball was in between the 2 players, and they just couldn't communicate which one was going to get it, and if it drops, and that results in a hit for Center Grove.
Now Garrison Burrell is up for Center Grove. Garrison Burrell is one of 3 Center Grove batters batting above .400, and he actually has a home run on the season. So let's see if he can drive in some runners here. Not the best start for Nicholson. A swing and a miss. That was a nasty off-speed pitch in the bottom of the zone. Looked like a breaking ball. That was a great pitch from Nicholson. Now, something to note with Nicholson, 2 saves on the season, but he has not made a start all season. So this is going to be interesting. It could get out of hand really quickly. 0-1 pitch. That one was absolutely nasty. Dropped into the middle of the zone. Once again, the off speed for Nicholson. I'm going to say it like 30 times this broadcast. It is nasty, but sometimes, especially so far in this game, when it gets to the bottom of the zone, that could be an issue. 0-2 pitch, Nicholson. A little bit too high on that one. 1-2 count.
A little bit too high after throwing 2 very perfect pitches.
And that one pitch that was right down the middle, I do not get why Burrell did not swing at that. I mean, off speed right down the middle, that could have been a huge hit. Pitch. And they're going to give it to him. Strike 3.
Great strikeout by Nicholson there. After a rough start, he needed that one.
Now, Evan Zapp is up to bat, the left-handed batter. Zapp, so far on the season, is batting .405 with a home run. So he is the 3rd of 3 batters with Center Grove that are batting above .400. That one's going to be in the dirt. and it looks like the runner on third base is not going to make a move for it.
Just too far left for Nicholson there. This is a left-handed batter, so he tried to catch him on the outside there. Didn't work out in his favor.
Something to note with Center Grove, they are undefeated, 5-0 when they hit a home run. So, I mean, could happen here. 2 runners in scoring position. Zap already has a home run on the season. 1-0 pitch, and he's going to swing and miss. That was nasty, right in the bottom of the zone.
You can tell Nicholson using his off speed to his advantage, also using this left-hand batter to his advantage. That is 2 strikes and 2 at-bats where Nicholson has got the batter with an off-speed pitch. On his 1-1.
And they're going to say that was a little bit too high. I think that you could have argued that, but still, that was probably a little bit too high, as that will make it an even count, 2-1. And a pitcher that Nicholson in the MLB reminds me of is current-day Clayton Kershaw, with the way the velocity isn't quite there, but he's got some really nasty off-speed pitches to adjust to the lack of velocity. And they're going to give that to him. Wow, I thought that might have been a little bit outside, but that dropped in right to the edge of the zone, 2-2 count.
It did look like the umpire did reach with that call.
Let's hope we get a generous umpire tonight. That's always a fun game. 2-2 count. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out. That will drop it right in the middle of the zone for a strike 3. And now 2 outs, and looks like Nicholson could avoid a big jam.
2 straight strikeouts for Nicholson there. Is he starting to get in the groove? We'll see with this at-bat. 2 outs, runner at third, runner at second for Center Grove. Let's see if Nicholson can get out of this jam here in the very first inning.
AJ Beggs up to bat. He's batting 184, which this could be an easy strikeout for Nicholson, and a swing and a miss right down the middle. 2-seam fastball. That was incredible.
Great pitch there by Nicholson. And it looks like Nicholson's starting to find his groove here. 2 straight strikeouts, a strike to start off this at-bat. He could get a little dangerous here.
0-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled off. Now an 0-2 count. I will say Beggs. I thought he was not going to make contact on that pitch at first.
It looked way too high for him to make contact, but he did. It's going to count as a strike. Nicholson is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
0-2 count. Nicholson. They're going to give it to him. Strike 3, and Nicholson avoids the jam.
Rough start to the inning for Nicholson. Picked it up at the end there. 3 straight strikeouts for Nicholson to wrap up the first inning on defense for the Rocks. Now let's see if the Rocks offense can carry momentum into the second inning, maybe with a lead.
Great start for Westfield as they avoid a jam. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back. The bottom of the first inning, still 0-0. And pitching for Center Grove tonight is Connor Vanderleeuwen. Like I said, that pronunciation, it's a doozy. And so far on the season, he has a current ERA of 1.75 on three appearances. So what do you expect from him tonight?
Obviously, starting pitcher of the #1 team in the state. He won't disappoint you if you're a Center Grove fan. It is going to be hard for the Westfield Rocks offense to get going in this one, despite that great performance in the top of the first inning. 1.75 ERA is going to be hard to beat. He's 2-0 on the year
And
as well.
watching him in these opening warm-ups throw pitches, it seems like he's got a lot of velocity on his fastballs, but the question is, can he get the location right? And batting leadoff for Westfield is Caden Lindsay. Caden Lindsay on the season batting .429. Obviously the younger brother of Colin Lindsay, and he will swing and miss.
You can tell Benell's trying to get the guys a little aggressive to start off this game. Try to set the tone here for the Rocks.
0-1 pitch Vander Lugarin. And should he have swung at that? I don't know. 0-2 count. It looked like he took a quarter swing, but he thought about that and did not swing. So 0-2 count.
Fast start for Vander Lugarin.
And strike 3. So far, a perfect, immaculate inning for Vander Lugarin.
2 half swings there for Lindsay. And the umpire was not too generous to him there. And that is going to start this bottom of the first off with a clean strikeout for Vander Lugarin.
Now it's the shortstop Braden Hibbler, who is back up to bat. He was 1 for 2 in the last game. And he's going to be hit by a pitch.
Now, Rowan, do you think Vander Lugarin meant to do that? Was that intentional? It looked intentional.
It did. I mean, I doubt it, but with the way Braden Hibbler, he's a very outspoken person, so maybe in warm-ups things were said, but I doubt it, but you never know, man. You never know.
That's going to send Hibbler on to first base. On comes number 7, the older brother of Caden Lindsay, who just striked out, Colin Lindsay, the senior.
Colin Lindsay batting .237 on the year. He is slumping, but last year against Center Grove, he hit a home run at Center Grove in a 5-2 win. So, and he hit Westfield's first home run of the season. That's crazy to think about. The pickoff throw is not in time.
They're going to call Hibbler safe there on first base. Now, one thing I do want to highlight here is Caden Lindsay's 43.3% on-base percentage, which is very impressive to start out the year. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep that up tonight against Center Grove.
And it looks like they're not going to call a strike on that. That was outside pitch, but Lindsay, he kind of had a half swing on that. Did he go all the way? I doubt it. But 2-0 count for Vander Lugarin. And Hibbler's going to take off to second base, and that one will be fouled off. Even count. Now, Braden Hibbler, he's a very aggressive base runner, as we've seen this season. And sometimes that could work in his benefit. He has a lot of speed, but sometimes that could not work in his benefit. He could be picked off.
2-1 count here for Lindsay.
Another pickoff attempt is not in time.
That's 2 pick-off attempts in 1 at-bat. Hibbler is quick to get back to the base here.
Vander Lugarin, 2-1 count. A lot of velocity on that one. And another pickoff attempt by the catcher, and he is not going to get it there in time. That is the 3rd pickoff attempt so far in this at-bat.
That pitch by Vander Lugarin was way obviously to the right.
Yeah, it seemed like the movement on the two-seam fastball, or actually that looked like a slider to me, had too much movement. And that one's going to be fouled off by Lindsay. As you see, Hibbler, he's ready to take off. 3-2 count, even count.
You can tell Vander Lugarin kind of pitched a little conservative there as he tried to pitch it straight into the middle of the box. He was successful. Colin Lindsay got contact, but it was a foul.
If I'm him, I'm going for the slider on the outside edge of the plate, which that's what he was going for on 2 pitches ago, but it was just a little bit too outside. 3-2 count. That one pitch is high, and the throw to second is not in time. Hibbler is going to make it to second, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway, as Lindsay is going to walk. And now Matt Drozlik is up to bat.
Matt Drozlik, the sophomore power hitter.
Matt Drozlik, 10 RBIs on the season. If anyone on this Westfield team were to hit a home run, I think it would be this guy. Vander Lugaren, first pitch. That one is going to be just outside. A little bit too much movement on the off speed.
Great patience there by Drozlik. The pitch started out in the center of the box, drifted a little bit outside, and he held his stick.
1-0 count. 1 out. Runner in scoring position. And that one's going to be a little bit too high, but Drozlik may have checked his swing there, but it was kind of halfway. 2-0 count, and looks like there's going to be a mound visit with Vander Lugaren.
Much needed. Vander Lugaren hasn't had the best start so far tonight, as he's already allowed 2 Rocks on base with only 1 out.
And Vander Lugaren, obviously small sample size, only 3 appearances so far on the young season, but he's looked really good. 1.75 ERA. I mean, this is kind of shocking, especially considering having a sub-2 ERA and being in the rotation of the best team in the state. I mean, it's kind of shocking.
We see Red flood off the mound, back into positions, as Matt Drozlik steps right back onto the plate. Count is 2-0.
I think what the manager was trying to tell Vander Lugaren is, this kid's got power. Don't give him anything easy in the middle of the zone. Don't give him any off speed in the middle of the zone, or he will crush it, as we've seen in batting practice. And he is also dealing with a minor knee injury, but he's playing through it. Will count. The runners are going to take off, swing and a miss to throw to third. They're saying he's out. Hibbler out at third, but Lindsay will advance to second base. Like I said, very aggressive base running, but sometimes it will not work in your advantage. 2-1 count.
It was very close, though. Hibbler almost had it. One step closer to getting the Rocks the lead on the board here.
But still, you got a man in scoring position with 2 outs, with an RBI machine. That one just on the outside edge of the plate. 3-1 count.
Matt Drozlik has been very patient, not swinging at anything he's unsure of.
If I'm Vander Lugaren, I'm trying to get him a fastball maybe, and he is going to walk him. As like I said, the fastball had too much movement, and now a man on first with Evan Russ up to bat.
Very impressive start to the season for Russ. 41.412 average, .457 on-base percentage for the senior.
And that one's going to be off speed and way too high. But with Evan Russ, something to note with him, in the past 6 at-bats for him, he is 5 for 6. That is an 83% batting average. That is wild. That one's going to be fouled off.
He's going to ding one straight into the right fence.
1-1 count with 2 outs. Lindsay on second. Although he is a catcher and there's kind of a stereotype that catchers don't have the best base running, Lindsay, he's got some really good base running. He actually leads the team in stolen bases. That one's going to be crushed in the left field. Russ going back. This pitch, it's gone! Evan Russ, the first home run of the season for the Westfield Shamrocks. A 3-run absolute slam, and Westfield will take a 3-0 lead.
Over the wall for Russ, their first home run for the Rocks. Vander Lugaren, what is going on tonight?
That was just not a great pitch at all. Off speed in the middle of the zone, and it's just crushed into left field.
He brings in Drozlik and Lindsay home, as well as himself. 3-0 start for the Rocks here in the bottom of the first.
Alex Rudolph, the DH, and that one's going to be at the bottom edge of the zone. Now, something to note, Alex Rudolph, the only lefty pitch hitter, and that one's going to be grounded, and an error is going to be made by the shortstop, and Rudolph is going to make his way to first base.
Slipped up by the third baseman and the left outfielder there.
And now time for Tyler Gentry, who a couple weeks ago hit a walk-off 2-run RBI single to win the game against Cathedral to walk it off.
That game was crazy.
And now Gentry, he is batting .263. That pitch off speed, way too high, too much movement.
One thing I've noticed with Vander Legarin, he either pitches way too high or way too low. But when he pitches just right, Evan Russ is going to happen. And he's going to bang it over the wall.
Crushed it. And
Tyler
that ball is going to be
Gentry.
hit, fouled off in the right field, and the catch will not be made. That one's going straight into the bullpen, 1-1 count. I mean, talk about your first time doing color commentary for baseball, the first home run of the season. I mean, you've got to feel lucky.
It doesn't get much better than that, Rowan. 1-1 count, 2 outs for the Rocks here.
And that ball is going to be crushed into center field, but it looks like that is going to be caught by the center fielder, and that will end the inning. The Westfield Shamrocks finally show off the power that they have and have a 3-0 lead going into the second. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back in that last inning. Talk about an eventful inning. The first home run of the season and hit by, who else would have hit it? Evan Russ.
Yeah, very slow start for Nicholson at the top of the first. Got into a little bit of a jam. Found himself out. Rocks offense start out firing on all ends. Vander Legarin still struggling to find his feet early in this game. Obviously, more time to find his feet. But
And
now let's see how Nicholson will do.
this is Kobe Cherry, a freshman up at bat, and he has a home run on the season and is batting .300. And that pitch off speed is going to drop into the bottom of the zone, 0-1 count.
So, Rowan, after Nicholson found his way out of that jam, do you think that momentum will carry on into future innings? I mean, he already started this inning out with a cold strike.
0-1 count. That one's going to be in the dirt. But to go back what you said, I think so, because you've seen it with pitchers when they have run support like Nicholson has so far. It works out in their favor, and so far this is looking great for Nicholson. 1-1 count. That was nasty. In the middle of the zone. 1-2 count.
1-2 count. Nicholson starting to find his consistent stride here early, which is what the Rocks need.
Pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Nicholson. What a start for number 27 in gold.
4 straight strikeouts. It's something. And now batting for Center Grove is going to be Brady Gillum, batting .276, and he has 2 triples on the season.
.276 average here.
Swing and a miss again.
Nicholson. What a start to the inning.
I mean, he doesn't even need the velocity. He can go with these breaking balls, these sliders, and they've worked out. They've been getting in the middle of the zone. 0-1 count. That one's going to drop in yet again.
Wow.
0-2 count. I don't get why he didn't swing at that.
Now that was a very slow but accurate pitch. And that's going to lead on to an 0-2 count. Will he get his 5th strikeout in a row?
0-2 pitch. Nicholson. Did he check his swing? No, he did not. 1-2 count.
They're going to give him the ball there. A little outside. But he almost got Gilliam swinging on that one.
Once again, watching Nicholson pitch, and as a Dodgers fan, it's absolutely beautiful. He looks just like Clayton Kershaw with the off speed and just the form, being a lefty. He's looking great. 1-2 count. That one's going to be just a little bit too high.
Gilliam's not getting aggressive here, which is surprising considering he has 2 strikes.
276 average on the season. Gilliam. 2-2 pitch. They're not going to give it to him near the bottom of the zone. And now an even count.
Gilliam found himself in a hole with the 0-2 count to start off his at-bat. He's worked his way all up. He's worked his way all the way up to a 3-2 count. Let's see if he can get on base for the Trojans.
1 out, nobody on base, 3-2 count. Nicholson, 2 pitch.
That one's low and in the dirt. Gilliam's going to take a walk to first base.
That is the first walk of the evening for Nicholson. And now up at bat is Easton Smith, the catcher. Now Easton Smith, so far on the season, he is batting 176. That is not good.
One out.
Nicholson's going to take a little bit of time. But we saw Nicholson get in a hole earlier, and here he is now, possibly can end that hole, and a swing and a miss.
Starting off the count strong, 0-1.
Once again, a man on first, 1 out, 0-1 pitch coming for Nicholson. That one's going to be fouled off right over our heads in the press box.
Wow.
Luckily for us, though, we have a fence and a window in our way.
The kids playing football behind us, unfortunately, they don't.
True. 0-2 count. Nicholson, 0-2 pitch.
Wow.
And they're not going to give that to him. Are you kidding me?
Might be a bad angle, but that looked dead even into the zone there. That's going to bring up a 1-2 count for Nicholson.
That looked like a curve to me, and I don't get why they didn't give that to him. Maybe a little bit too high, but I really don't get that. The pickoff throw will be not in time. We've seen one successful pickoff throw, and it was to get Braden Hibbler out. Imagine if Hibbler actually did make it to third, then Evan Russ's home run would have been a grand slam.
Yeah.
That ball is going to be crushed and fouled off. Once again, the off speed. It could create some problems as these guys are experienced hitters. They are the best hitters in the nation, not in the nation, in the state. Definitely not the nation, as we're still in the second inning and no earned runs yet. 1-2 pitch. That ball is going to be hit in the center field. Lindsey, does he have it? And it looks like that's going to be down.
What a hit there. A clutch hit for Smith there. Getting a single, getting 2 Trojans on base early in the side. They have a runner on first and second base with only 1 out.
Nicholson, yet again, looking to avoid a jam. And just Lindsey, Caden Lindsey, you can't really blame him for not making that play. He made a diving effort, but was just super close to making that catch, but just couldn't quite get it. Carson Volcan is up to bat. They're going to give that to him on the edge of the zone.
Looks like it hit him a little bit.
That was right by his hand. So, thank you, umpire. 0-1 count. I will say this umpire, he's been pretty good tonight, unlike some umpires we've seen
Yeah.
while I've commentated games this season. That ball is going to be crushed and fouled off.
Going to bring up an 0-2 count with 1 out. Runners on first and second base here.
I think if I'm Nicholson, I'm going with a curveball to get him out on strike 3 and then have 2 outs and still a man in scoring position, but either way, you're not in as much of a jam. That guy's far off of second. Did he check his swing?
It looks like he did.
And they're going to call him out. That was a late
Wow.
call. And that is going to be strike 3. As you can see, Vulcan is not happy about that. But with a 214 average, what do you expect, my friend?
The Trojans' third base coach is shaking his head at that one. Did not agree with the ump there, as that's going to bring up 2 outs. But the Trojans still have runners on first and second. 1 solid hit, and the Trojans could be on the board here.
Now back up to Noah Coy. He is 1 for 1 on the day so far. But I will say about that last pitch, that was probably the right call, but he made that call way too late.
Yeah. Even he was a little confused on that one.
I mean, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. He has a better view than us, so I'm not going to complain. That one's going to be, and they're going to give that to him. I was about to say just a little bit outside.
It looked low and outside, but it's in the zone, and he's going to start off this at-bat 0-1.
0-1 count for Nicholson. A man on second. Once again, he has a large lead off of second. That ball is going to be hit in the right field. And
looks
just
like
that,
Gilliam might come home here, and he will.
And that will drive in a run and will create a runner on third base. And just like that, Center Grove is back in this ball game.
Center Grove on the board there. Now 3-1, runners on first and third for the Trojans. Now up to bat number 1.
Drew Culberson, the shortstop who has been unreal this season. He's already 1 for 1 on the day so far.
Statistically the best hitter on this Center Grove team, batting a .486. 3 home runs on the year as well.
He's got some power. Could we see a second home run hit tonight? That would be obviously not great for Westfield, but as a commentator, that would be cool.
That one looks like it's going to be in the dirt. 1-0 count for Nicholson here.
That pitch had a lot more velocity than a lot of his other pitches tonight have had. So that two-seam fastball, it looked like, maybe had too much movement. 1-0 count. Nicholson, he's looking at first base. And that ball is going to be hit in the right field. Does Evan Rust have it? He makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Andrew Nicholson gives up 1 run, and we have a 2-run ball game going into the bottom of the second. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network.
Welcome back to the stream, and we have a little bit of news for you guys. The Trojans are switching their pitcher. Rowan, tell us about it.
Christian Brown is back out there. He has a save on the season and a 2.74 ERA, the junior Christian Brown.
It'll be interesting to see how Westfield adjusts to the pitching switch.
This is his first season on varsity. as a junior.
Up to bat for the Rocks, the bottom of the second, number 21, Ian Wilson, the sophomore, and
Ian
also
Wilson.
basketball phenom.
Basketball phenom. And that ball will be fouled off. In Brown's last appearance, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 walks, 0 hits, 2 strikeouts in a win against Ron Colley. 0-1 count. And that was a nasty pitch in the bottom of the zone, the 2-seam fastball, 0-2 count.
Christian Brown making a strong impression so far, already better than Vanderlei Garen.
And Christian Brown, way easier to pronounce than Vanderlei Garen. And that one's going to be outside in the dirt, 1-2 count. Ian Wilson, he did have a 3-hit game 2 weeks ago against Cathedral, and since then he's kind of slumped a bit, but he is still very young, 1-2 count. And that ball is going to drop in and will be grounded to the shortstop, and the throw to first is in time.
So far, great defense by the Trojans in the bottom of the second, led by Christian Brown. 2 strikes, 1 not hit, but hitting the shortstop's hands straight to first base, getting Ian Wilson out there.
Eli Manbeck is back up to bat, the left fielder. Manbeck so far on the season, batting .316 in his senior season. That one's going to be grounded yet again to Culberson, the shortstop, and the throw to first. And they're going to give that to him. They're going to say he did not make the throw in time, an error at first. And just like that, back to the top of the order, Caden Lindsay.
.429 average for Lindsay. 4 hits and 9 at-bats. 2 RBIs.
Caden Lindsay, although he did strike out earlier tonight, I have no idea why he does not have more playing time. He is a great player, especially for his age, and it looks like he tried to bunt, and Manbeck is going to take second after a wild pitch, and now a runner in scoring position for Lindsay.
Runner on second. 1 out here. 1-0 count. 3-1 Rocks. The bottom of the second.
Christian Brown so far not in too big of a pickle.
Another wild pitch, and Manbeck's going to find his way to third base.
This is not looking good.
Christian Brown started off strong in that last AB. 2 wild pitches will help the Rocks find their way to home.
I thought he was looking strong too, and then 2 straight wild pitches back to back allows Manbeck to go from first to third. And that is actually, they're going to call that a strike. Wow.
Looked way too inside, but
maybe
also a great pitch by Brown there.
Maybe my view was distorted, but it looked like that was really close to the body of Lindsay. 2-1 count, even count. And they're going to give that to him on the outside edge of the plate.
I don't really agree with that call.
Yeah, that's a debatable call, but sometimes in those situations where you have a pitch on the outside edge, you kind of give it to the pitcher. That ball is going to be hit into right field, and that is going to be fouled off. 2-2 count.
2-2 count here. 1 out. Manbeck on third. No other runners. Let's see if Caden Lindsay can get his 3rd RBI of the year.
Let's see, 2-2 count. And they're not going to give that to him. They're going to say that is outside. 3-2 count.
Full count here for Brown.
I think if I'm Brown in this situation, I give him an absolute laser. 4-seam fastball. And a swing and a miss.
Exactly what he's going to do there. Caden Lindsay, his 2nd straight strikeout. As up to bat, Braden Hibbler.
And with Caden Lindsay. 2 strikeouts so far. And Braden Hibbler, he did make it on base with a walk, but he was thrown out at third. That ball's going to be hit to the shortstop. Culberson to throw the first. He gets it there, and that will end the inning for Center Grove. And now back to the top of the third. Nicholson, it looks like he's going to go back out there, and Westfield still has a 3-1 lead. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. Welcome back, and we are at the top of the third. Andrew Nicholson back out there for Westfield. 3-1 count. Not 3-1 count, 3-1 score. How can Nicholson stay in this game for longer?
Just keep doing what he's doing. He's done a terrific job. Nobody thought he was going to play this well in these first 2 innings. Gets out of an impressive jam in the first inning. Allows a run in the second inning, but he still played well. I think he can carry this momentum on. As Center Grove is going to start to step onto the plate here. It's going to be number 12 batting.
Garrison Burrill. He is 0 for 1 so far on the day with a strikeout. And Nicholson, so far, having a pretty solid outing. 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, and 4 strikeouts. First pitch. That one's going to be in the dirt. 1-0 count.
Second pitch is coming up right here.
1-0 count. And that one,
wow,
way too much movement, and that's going to be high and above the catcher. 2-0 count. It looked like he was going for a riser on that pitch, but like the name of the pitch is, a riser, it rose way too much. Two-0 count for Nicholson. That ball is going to be hit into left field.
Rush.
Going back, and that will not be gone, but it will land, and that is going to go for a double.
Great hit there.
Now, back up to bat for the second time today is Evan Zapp. Now, something to note with Evan Zapp, he is the younger brother of AJ Zapp, who is in the MLB currently. He is in the minors. As we're looking right here, he is in single A with the Dodgers, my favorite team. Maybe I need to keep up with single A more.
Runner on second here. No outs. Going to be too low and wide for Nicholson. That's going to start off the count 1-0.
Get the curveball from Nicholson, just not getting in the zone on that pitch. One out count for Nicholson. Zapp is one of 3 Center Grove hitters batting 400 or above, and that one's going to be in the dirt, 2-0 count.
Not a great start to this inning so far for Nicholson. After 2 great innings to start off the game, until he's starting to fall apart just a little bit, but
just a little bit.
I still see him playing well throughout the remainder of this game.
Let's see if he can go for a couple more innings. 2-0 count, and a pickoff throw to second will not make it there as Hibbler was covering second, and the ball went in and out of his glove. 3-0 count.
Not looking great here for Nicholson.
Zap has 15 RBIs on the season.
Wow.
So
Most
he
on
could,
Center Grove. Well, tied with Beggs.
and it looks like the second base umpire is having a discussion right now with Burrill. And now the manager is going to come out for Center Grove and they're going to have a discussion. What do you think they're talking about?
Not sure. Maybe there was a little bit of exchange of words when the catcher tried to pick off Ariel, but
Knowing Braden Hibbler, there might have been some words exchanged with Hibbler and Burrill. Rio count the lefty Zap. Lefty versus lefty. That one's going to be outside and Zap is going to walk.
wow.
The command is not there, which for a guy that doesn't have velocity, when the command is not there, it's not great.
Number 3 is going to be Beggs. AJ Beggs.
He
for the
struck out
Trojans.
earlier in this game. Now Evan Zapp, his older brother, like we mentioned, AJ Zapp, with the Great Lakes in single A with the Dodgers. Currently batting .255 for his minor league career, so pretty good. And now a mound visit.
With 2 runners on base. With 2 runners on base, no outs so far. What does Nicholson have to change here early in the 3rd inning to get things to Swift his way a little bit?
I mean, he's been going off speed, but so far in this inning, the command has not been there.
Agreed. Is they're still on the mound.
I'm just a commentator, so I don't know, as a manager, how you talk him out of something like that. That's something that is above my pay grade.
Number 3 walking up to the dish for the Trojans. AJ Beggs, 15 RBIs, batting 184 though.
That is the definition of boomer bust. As he actually has a home run too, so kind of like a Kyle Schwarber type of guy. Not the best average, but he's got some power. He's got some pop in that bat. He's going to try and bunt.
That will not work. It's going to
0-1
work out as a
count.
strike for Nicholson there.
Still 0 outs, a man on second. And if Nicholson has another walk in this at bat, then the bases are loaded with 0 outs, and that's a huge issue. Oh, 1 count for Nicholson. I think the 2-seam fastball would not be a terrible option. When try and bunt, the bunt is laid down and the runners will advance and the throw to first. It looks like it is in time. So the idea of that bunt worked out perfectly for Center Grove, although the man
Absolutely.
at first is out, 2 runners in scoring position. The freshman Kobe Cherry is back up to bat. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
300 average, 11 RBIs. Does have a home run.
I mean, for a freshman, talk about a great view of the plate. I'm sure he will be terrorizing teams for the next 4 years. And that ball was kind of close to his leg. And oh, did he forget about the man on third?
Looked like he did. The Trojans are going to run one home.
And Colin Lindsay forgets about the man on third. And that allows a runner to just basically walk on over to home plate. And now the umpires are going to have a discussion. That was just a complete lack of communication and just a complete misunderstanding of the situation.
Now, not only did the Trojans run one in to make the score 3-2, they also have another one on third. Oh, never mind. They're going to move them back. The second. A lot of confusion. Is they're going to take the run off the board.
That is interesting.
So it's going to stay 3-1. Sorry for the little heart attack there, but
Yeah, sorry for the heart attack.
still, base is loaded here. Bradley Gilliam.
Bradley Gilliam, and they're going to say that he actually walked on that pitch because it did look like he was hit by the pitch on the leg.
Yeah.
So kind of a, that ball is going to drop in, and they're going to say that is not a strike. I really don't get that.
1-0 count.
Still, the base is loaded with 1 out. This is quite the pickle for Nicholson. That
That's
ball just a little bit too high.
2-0 count to start off this at-bat for Gilliam.
Gilliam, he did walk earlier in this game.
Like I said earlier, bases loaded for Center Grove here. There is such thing as a jam for Nicholson.
This is it,
This
yeah.
would be it.
2-0
Already got
count.
one. Already got out of one in the first inning.
And they're not going to give that to him. Wow. The two-seam fastball, they're not going to give that to Nicholson. 3-0 count.
3 balls to start off this at-bat. And Nicholson find his stride.
And they're going to give that to him. That dropped in the curveball in the middle of the zone. 3-1 count.
Great pitch there to keep the at-bat alive.
Nicholson making his first start of the season. 3-1 count, 1 out.
That is a ball.
Yeah, that was really close to his arm, too. And just like that, a runner will advance home as the bases were loaded, and now a 3-2 ball game.
Bases stay loaded for Center Grove. 3-2 here, only 1 out.
This is quite the jam. Easton Smith, who is 1 for 1.
This could get dangerous for the Rocks defense here.
Now, I have the picture saved on my phone of the available pitchers tonight for Westfield, as it looks like a mound visit is going to be called with Bunnell, which gives me the perfect time to talk about the available pitchers. I've been told that basically the kitchen sink is being thrown in. Braden Hibbler, Preston Tam, Owen Swinford, Matt Drozlik, and Seth Nana are available, and Jacob Culp could be in question and available for the save.
As we see Seth Nana run towards the mound, could this be a substitution?
Yep, this is Seth Nana, and Nicholson is, his day is done.
Nicholson is done. He didn't do terrible compared to expectations.
Yeah, I was at school today, as we are students, and I've heard people saying, oh, Nicholson, he's going to get shelled tonight. Didn't quite get shelled.
He kept the lead for the Rocks. Great job for Andrew Nicholson there as Seth Nana steps up to the plate, the starting pitcher that beat Cathedral.
Seth Nana, although coming off not the best of performances against Carmel, which I think the entire team really slumped off against Carmel in that 19-2 loss. He has a 5.8 ERA on the season, and he gave up a grand slam in that game. Seth Nana looking to bounce back. And Nana, as we're looking at him with these warm-up pitches, they're finding the zone. They're looking pretty good. Got some velocity on these pitches too. And it looks like play is going to resume soon.
Set the scene for you guys. 3-2. Rocks are still up. Only 1 out, but bases are loaded for Center Grove. Let's see if the pitching switch up for the Rocks will change anything to get out of this slump.
Actually, Seth Nana, apparently I must have read this wrong. He has a 9.2 ERA. So that's doesn't help at all. Now Easton Smith is back up to bat. The catcher, Easton Smith. 1 out. Nana looking to escape the jam with the bases loaded. He is going to take time. First pitch of the at-bat. And they're not going to give that to him. Wow.
Going to start this count off 1-0 for Nana.
Maybe that fastball had too much movement on it, but that looked in the zone to me. 1-0 count for Nana. That ball is going to be crushed into left field and is going to be fouled off into the bullpen.
1-1 count. Bases are still loaded for the boys in red.
With the power on that ball at first, that looked like that could have been the second grand slam in the past week given up by Nana, which would be a huge issue. That ball is going to be hit well into right center field, and it is going to land. And it looks like that is going to be a bases clearing 3-run RBI double. And the throw home, it's not there. And Center Grove, just like that, they take the lead. A 5-3 ball game.
What a crusher hit in the deep center field there. The ball was up against the fence when the last runner was on. Was in between second
and we have
third
a
base.
Pinch runner in for Center Grove. That is going to be Brendan Ely. Brendan Ely. Carson Vulcan is second at bat. A 5-3 ball game. Nana giving up a bases clearing RBI double. And they're not going to give him that one either. I really don't get that. A two-seam fastball yet again looking too high to the umpire.
Wow.
Obviously, you can't be giving up.
But I would lean strike there.
You can't be giving up big hits in these situations, but with the umpire, his performance in this inning, the past two at-bats, it's just not helping, and that ball is fouled off, 1-1 count.
Not the strongest start for Nana yet.
Yeah, when you give up a RBI double, a 3-run RBI double, then that definitely makes things tough to begin with. But still, at least the bases aren't loaded.
Yeah.
Did he check his swing? They're going to say he did.
1-2 count for Nana.
I really don't get that. That ball was right by his leg, so I really don't get why he checked his swing, but 1-2 count. That ball is going to be crushed to Hibbler, and the throw to first is in time.
2 outs in the inning.
But a runner
on.
advances to third. Ely will advance to third with 2 outs. And I will say that pitch had a lot of velocity on that. It looked like a 4-seam fastball to me, actually. Actually, maybe 2-seam. It had a bit of movement on it.
2 outs.
And back to the top of the order, Noah Coy, who is 2 for 2 on the day. That ball is going to be just outside, 1-0 count. Two outs. Nana looking to escape the jam unharmed, which the harm has already been done. The damage has been done. They're going to give that to him in the middle of the zone.
Going to set up an 0-1 count. 2 outs, runner on third.
0-1 count for Nana. Man on third, that is Brendan Ely. And Nana is going to step off the mound and take some time. If I'm Nana, I go back to that just absolute rocker of a fastball that was in that last at-bat. That looked nasty.
Yeah.
And now the hitter, Boy, is going to call time. I feel like this is going to be one of those at-bats where it feels like it's going on forever. 0-1 count. A swing and a miss. I really don't get what he was swinging at.
0-2 count. 2 outs. You're 1 out, 1 strike away from retiring the side.
I mean, that slider at the bottom edge of the zone, that looked nasty. 0-2 count. And they're
There
going to
he
give it
is.
to him. The slider yet again for Seth Nana, and Seth Nana is able to retire the side. And Westfield, the damage has been done, though. A 5-3 ball game. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back as now in the bottom of the third, Westfield just got absolutely shelled in that last inning. Seth Nana gave up a 3-run RBI double, and then Nicholson was taken out after giving up yet another earned run, and Colin Lindsay is back up to bat for Westfield as Christian Brown is still in the game for Center Grove.
Colin Lindsay, bottom of the third. Fresh start for the Westfield offense.
Lindsay walked in his last play appearance, and they are actually going to call that a strike? Really?
Wow.
Right by his leg, and you're going to call it a strike. All right.
Oh, Lindsay had to lift up his arms for that one.
Yeah. That one absolutely wild. I mean, the fastball, too much velocity, and it moved way too much. Above the catcher, 1-1 count. And that ball is going to be crushed into right center field, and it is going to be caught by the left fielder.
That's already 1 out for the Rocks. Now on steps Matt Drozlik onto the dish.
Matt Drozlik had a walk earlier in this game, and I kind of jinxed it earlier in the game where I said if anyone were to hit a home run, it would be Matt Drozlik, and then he didn't hit the home run, Evan Russ did, but I won't complain. And they're going to say he swung at that, and he made contact, which I really don't get. The off speed at the bottom of the zone, I really don't get that. That didn't look like a strike to me.
Old swing at that. 0-1 count, 1 out.
But still, Drozlik, 10 RBIs, and that ball is going to be hit to the shortstop, Culberson, and the throw to first is in time.
Already 2 outs for the Rocks offense.
But
as the home run hitter himself.
Yep, on the bright side.
Evan Russ, who hit the 3-run home run first inning for the Rocks.
Now, wouldn't that be something if going into this game, the team hasn't hit a home run all season, but then Russ, in his first 2 at-bats, crushes a home run? That would be great. Let's see if he can do that in his second at-bat of the day. First pitch, that's going to drop in for a strike. The curveball looking good.
Wow. Great pitch there by Christian Brown, the junior.
0-1 count, Russ. That ball is going to be hit to the second baseman. The throw to first is in time, and that will end the inning.
Quick side for the Rocks offense there. 3 at-bats, 3 outs.
And that is just what Christian Brown needed, as it looks like, will it be Seth Nana back on the mound for Westfield? Come back after this commercial to find out. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back, and Seth Nana will return to the mound after kind of a shaky inning in the last inning as he went with 2 batters, gave up 2 hits, 3 earned runs, and a strikeout. And Drew Culberson, 1 for 2 on the day, is back up to bat. Nana, first pitch. That is going to be in there. Strike 1.
Wow.
2-seam fastball. Looked great. Nana's got a great fastball with a lot of velocity, so I will give him that. 0-1 count. That ball is going to be hit in the right field and fouled off.
0-2 count to start off the inning.
This is looking good for Nana. This is just what he needs to stay in this game. Oh, 2 count. And they're going to say he swung at that. I really don't get that. And they're saying he made contact too. He's going to try and run it out, but the throw to first is in time. And 3 pitches, 1 batter gone.
Wow. Great start for Nana. A much needed start for Nana after that last inning.
And now it's going to be Garrison Burrill. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout this game. And that ball is going to be in the dirt. 1-0 count. Seth Nana, 1-0 count. That one's going to be just outside. It looked like he was trying to locate that slider, but just didn't work out.
Just not quite there. 2-0 count to start off this at-bat.
And a 2-0 count in the zone. Really? That looked like that was in the middle of the zone to me. I really don't get that call, but a 3-0 count. Rio just outside, and that is going to walk a batter.
So we start off the inning, 3 strikes, a batter out. Now 4. In the next at-bat, 4 pitches, and a batter swings.
Now
Or
back
not
to
swings, but
Evan
walks.
Zapp. Zapp on the day so far is 0 for 1. He did strike out, but he did walk. Let's see how Nana does against the left-handed batter with a man on first. And that ball is going to be hit in the center field right to Lindsay, and it will be caught. 2 outs now.
First baseman thought about running.
Yeah, that was
held his ground
that
and stayed
clearly
on
would not
first.
have been the right decision. And now it's going to be A.J. Beggs back up at bat. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And I will say Nana in this inning, he's looking really good. The velocity has been great. The pitch location has been solid.
Yeah. That
And
one,
they're going to give that to him. Nice.
old strike there for Nana.
Just dropped right in there. That looked great. Beautiful pitch. 0-1 count. The pickoff throw is not in time for Nana. Oh, 1 count, 2 outs for Nana. Nana looks at first yet again. And that one will
Boom.
drop right in. That looked great. A curveball in the middle of the zone, and now an 0-2 count with 2 outs.
Filthy strike there from Nana to set up a strikeout here on A.J. Beggs, one of Center Grove's better hitters.
2 strikes, 2 outs, a man on first. Can Nana complete the inning? And it looks like Beggs is going to call time. Beggs going into this game batting 184, not the best, obviously, but still he's got some power. He's got the RBI potential, and he swung on and missed. Seth Nana, absolutely nasty, and that will end this half of the inning. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back, and it looks like Christian Brown is going to stay in this game. And he had a successful inning in his last inning, not giving up a hit and getting a strikeout. So Alex Rudolph back up to bat for Westfield. Rudolph is 1-for-1 on the day.
Trustworthy hitter.
Alex Rudolph, a very streaky hitter, but when he's hot, he's hot. First pitch. And they're not going to give that to Brown. Wow.
1-0 count.
Rudolph, the only left-handed batter in the Westfield batting order. And that ball is going to be outside for ball 2.
Strong count so far for Rudolph.
Lefty versus lefty, Brown. And they are not going to give that to him. Wow.
Ump is not being very generous to Brown so far this inning.
That curveball looked like it was in. 3-0 count for Brown. And that one's just a little bit too high.
Send Rudolph to first. And on to hit for the Rocks. It's going to be number 9, Tyler Gentry.
Tyler Gentry going into this game batting .263.
The hero just 2 weeks ago against Cathedral.
Gentry also a streaky hitter, but he comes up clutch at the right time. That one will drop in, the curveball yet again.
Great strike there.
Kind of looked like a bit of a sinker too.
Yeah.
0-1 count. A swing and a miss for Gentry. And it looks like an error will be made, and Rudolph will run to second, and he will make it there.
Wow.
Now a man on second, Alex Rudolph. And Tyler Gentry, so far on the season with 7 RBIs, he could make that an 8th here.
Brown set to pitch here. 0-2 count. Tyler Gentry's going to foul that one off on the ground. The left side of the diamond. So, we see earlier in the game, Center Grove sub off Vanderlegeren very quick. Do you think Christian Brown, so far, is the answer for the Trojans to win this game?
He's looking like it so far. And a wild pitch in the dirt, and Rudolph is going to make his way to third base. And he was looking at home, but he thought about it and realized that wasn't the best decision. 0 outs, a man on third, 2 straight wild pitches for Brown.
He was questioning running to home there. Cut the Trojan lead down to 1, but played it safe. Now he's on third base. Can Tyler Gentry get yet another RBI this year?
1-2 count, 0 outs. Gentry's going to hit this one to the third baseman. The throw to first is in time.
That's the first out of the inning for Brown and the Trojans.
And that was weird. The third baseman, he kind of hesitated there.
Yeah.
He looked at Alex Rudolph and hesitated.
Runner's still on third for the Rocks. If there's any time to get on the board to cut this lead down, it's now if you're Westfield.
Ian Wilson, the third baseman who is 0-for-1 on the day so far, is back up to bat. Once again, Brown coming off 2 wild pitches. That one's going to drop in, grounded to the third baseman, and an error is made, and Rudolph will make it home. And yet another error. The throw to first is off, and it looks like Wilson is going to make it to second base.
Wow.
Brown.
What a series of events for the Trojans defense.
Brown's command is just not there tonight, or so far in this inning, and a run will score for Westfield with a man on second with Eli Manbeck up to bat.
Rowan, what happened there at first plate? I couldn't really get a good angle.
The third baseman made an error on that play. He tried to make the throw to first, but the throw just went right by the first baseman's glove. Manbeck is going to bunt, try and get Wilson to third base. A perfectly laid bunt.
He'll get there.
He made it there. Wow. Eli Manbeck, he has had some perfectly laid bunts so far this season.
And now the momentum is starting to shift in Westfield's favor here. Runners on first and third with a dangerous hitter in Caden Lindsay up to bat with only 1 out on the board.
The infield work so far for the Center Grove team in this inning has not been great, and now a mound visit. This could be the end of Brown's day, but we will see with Caden Lindsay going back up there, top of the order. But at school, you hear all these things being talked about, and when I was telling people, yeah, we're playing Center Grove tonight, they were saying, ooh, Center Grove, this is not going to be fun.
Yeah.
But here we are, 1-run ball game. It's looking like an upset could be brewing.
And Roan, you got to ask yourself, what happened with Christian Brown? I mean, he started really strong off the mound when he got subbed in for Vander Legarian. In your opinion, what just happened so fast to switch the tides and to give Westfield momentum?
Maybe he was just a little bit too confident in his stuff. I mean, the velocity, he's got it, but the command just isn't there. I mean, I don't know if you've watched the movie Space Jam, where the Monstars take the talent away from the players. It looked like that kind of happened there. The talent was taken away from Brown. And 1 out, Caden Lindsay back up.
Dangerous hitter. He's the guy you want on the mound or at the dish in this situation. Not very strong tonight, but in this on the season in general, very good. 4.29 average.
The Lindsay brothers batting 1 and 3rd in the batting order. First pitch, and it looks like he's going to try and bunt. 1-0 count, but really, he's going to try and bunt.
That's a very risky thing to do, especially with a runner on third.
Yeah, I really don't get that decision to have him bunt, especially with the RBI potential with Lindsay. I really don't get that decision.
It's going to be in the dirt yet again. 2 balls for Christian Brown, and he's starting to lose his spark here a little bit.
Yeah, the spark he had for just a little bit is disappearing by the batter in this inning. 2-0 count. And that is going to make contact, but still fouled off. 2-1 count, an even count. Lindsay, he did try to bunt in his last at bat too, so that is something to note. And the infield, it looks like the third baseman is coming in.
Ball.
That one's just outside, a little bit in the dirt, a little bit outside. 3-1 count. Maybe you don't need to bunt. Maybe the bases could be loaded after this pitch with 1 out.
3-1 count here. Christian Brown better be careful here. Lindsay's
And that's
bunt
going to
will
be fouled
foul off.
Fouled off by Lindsay, as that looked like it was going to be fair, and it looked like a perfectly laid bunt too.
Count will now be full here, I believe.
Braden Hibbler, who was on deck, just came out to home plate and took Caden Lindsay's bat and just had it standing up on home plate ready for him. 3-1 count. And they're going to call that. Wow. And actually, it's not a 3-1 count. He struck out on that pitch. Wow.
Because of the foul ball.
Because of the foul ball. Just didn't quite see that. Now, Braden Hibbler, 2 outs.
And he's the guy you would want in this situation. 5 RBIs on the year. 519 on base percentage.
Now, Caden Lindsay, I hate to be that guy, but 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. Just not your day today. That one's going to be a little bit in the dirt. 1-0 count.
If you're Hibbler here, you need to get aggressive with a guy on third base down 1.
Oh, definitely. Tie the ball game. 2 outs. That would be perfect. Hibbler is going to foul that one off into right field.
Be a 1-1 count for Hibbler.
Braden Hibbler, he's been on and off this season, but so far batting .259 with 5 RBIs, looking to get a 6th RBI. And that ball is going to be hit into Right center field. Right field. It's going to drop down.
Wow.
And that is going to bring in a runner and another runner. Manbeck is going to make it. The throw to third. Not in time.
Wow.
And Hibbler with a
A
triple.
triple for number 10 in gold and green, Braden Hibbler. Two RBIs there for Hibbler, and he gets himself on third base with 2 outs.
Braden Hibbler, a two-run triple. Two-run triple. That is just what Westfield needed to take the lead. A 6-5 ball game now. Colin Lindsay. Colin Lindsay is 0 for 1 with a walk today. And they're going to call that a strike. Wow, that was actually right by Lindsay's leg. 0-1 count. That one's going to drop in yet again.
They have not been very generous to Lindsay here.
0-2 count. This is just what Brown needs, but I really don't see him coming back out after this inning. And they swing and a miss for Colin Lindsay. He's going to run it out to first, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah. And that is going to end the inning. Westfield strikes back and takes a 6-5 lead. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back. Seth Nana is going to go back out there. And Nana, his last inning looked pretty good, actually, as he only walked 1 batter, but he struck out 2 batters and did not give up a run or a hit. Let's see if that velocity he has can continue on in this inning.
Just over halfway through the game. 6-5, Westfield. Rowan, what are Westfield's keys to the game to keep this one in their favor and potentially get a W against the top team in the state?
I think especially it comes down to base running and taking advantage of your opportunities like they've been doing, as we saw Rudolph and Manbeck so far in this game both steal second and then steal third. Kobe Cherry, the freshman, who was hit by a pitch and has struck out tonight. He is 0 for 1. Let's see what he can do. First pitch. They're going to give that to Nana. Wow.
Great pitch. And you can tell, just like Nicholson early in his game tonight, Nana is starting to find his groove a little bit.
0-1 count, Nana. A little bit too high. 1-1 count. Now, keep in mind, when I complain about a call, me and this umpire, our strike zones are completely different, possibly. And really, they're not going to give him that one either. That looked like it was in the zone. It looked like it dropped in for a strike, but no, 2-1 count. Even count, Nana. They're going to give that to him. The slider just lands right in there.
Old strike there for Nana.
2-2 pitch. Nana, the payoff. That one's going to be hit to Wilson at third base. The throw to first is in time. Oh, they're going to say he wasn't in time.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? That looked like Drozlik had his foot on the bag at first and made a tag, but they're going to say no. Really?
I do not agree with that call there. There it is.
Yep, they're going to call him out. Thank you. Told you.
That would have been crazy if the umps let that one slide.
That was just a great throw by Ian Wilson to first base, and to have that overshadowed would have been really unfortunate. Now Brady Gilliam has 2 walks in this game. Let's see what he can do in this at bat with 1 out, and he is going to call time. One out, first pitch. That's going to drop in there for
Wow.
a strike.
Gilliam froze on that one as Seth lays that one perfectly in the middle of the zone.
I mean, the curveball, actually, that looked like a 2-seam fastball to me. Had a lot of good movement. And that's going to be a little bit outside 1-1 count. One pitch coming for Nana. That's going to they're not going to give it to him. Are you kidding me? A 2-1 count, maybe just a little bit too high.
Even count as well. Nana's going to take a little break.
I mean, this umpire, he had a good start, but then these past couple innings, he's just not been there. That's going to drop in there. That was absolutely ice cold. Seth Nana, 2-2 count.
Right in the middle of the zone there. That was a perfect pitch and a much needed pitch.
Nana on the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And actually, he's going to make contact. He's going to run it out. And the throw is in time.
2 outs for the inning.
I really don't see the contact on that pitch, but just wanted to run it out, I guess.
Right now, this is not looking good for Center Grove. On 1, 2 outs.
And Easton Smith, the catcher, is back up to bat. He is 1 for 1. And they're going to give that to him. Drops right in the strike zone. 0-1 count.
Nana has had a very strong past couple innings.
After giving up that big hit, he's looked great. Swing and a miss.
The off speed by Nana there.
Just absolutely nasty.
Had him swinging strong.
0-2 count, Nana. And that is going to be off the glove of Lindsay. 1-2 count.
1 strike away from allowing 2 straight innings with no runs here for Nana.
And after giving up that big hit that allowed 3 earned runs, he's looking really good. That one's just a little bit outside yet again. 2-2 count. He's trying to locate the curveball, just can't quite get it. I think you go back to the fastball that has so much velocity, and I think that's the strong suit with Nana.
2-2 count, 2 outs, no runners on base.
Pitch, Nana. That ball is going to be hit in the center field. Going back, and it is down.
Going to hit the wall. Lindsay's going to launch this one up to Hibbler.
And that is going to be a double for Easton Smith. Now 2 for 2 on the day, as Nana had so much going in this inning, but then he gives up a big hit that went to right center field, and it says on the wall 375 back. That ball went about 373.
Carson Volkin up next for the Trojans.
Now a designated designated runner out there for Center Grove. It looks like it's going to be Brendan Ely yet again, making his second appearance tonight. Carson Volkin, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and it appears there is going to be a bit of a meeting between the infield and Seth Nana. And it looks like the umpire actually cut his hand. I have no idea how that happened, but it appears he is okay, luckily. And that appears to be the reason why play has stopped. And he is going over to the Center Grove dugout. And that appears to be the reason for the stoppage in play. Now, something to point out with Center Grove so far this season, they are 10-1 when they strike out 5 or more batters, and so far tonight, it just hasn't been there, as only 2 strikeouts on the day so far for Center Grove.
It's a long intermission here. Let's clue you in. 6-5 Shamrocks. Top of the 5th. No runners on base.
I think now is the perfect time to let you all know that tomorrow night we will be back live against Lawrence Central High School, a back-to-back that will end the 4-game homestand for Westfield. That will be me and Aiden McNally back on the call tomorrow night. And maybe this stoppage in play will end soon, maybe not. Two outs for Nana. He has a man on second base after a big double given up. And this is a really long stoppage in play.
Pyre walking back out, has some wrap around his hand.
I really don't get how he cut his hand.
Yeah.
I really don't get that.
We're going to continue play here. Up to bat, it's going to be number 26, Carson Vulcan, the designated hitter.
And about time, Nana's going to get some warm-up pitches, and we are back to the action. Vulcan so far tonight 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But on the season, Vulcan is batting .214 with only 1 RBI. Two outs for the Shamrocks. Got a runner on second, the designated runner Ely. That ball is going to be hit in the center field. Lindsay will not make the catch. It will actually be to Russ, and that will end the inning.
6-5 retires the top of the fifth.
You're watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back, and something to note, Brady Walker is warming up in the bullpen, but Christian Brown will remain back out there. And so far in this game, it has not been pretty for Brown. 3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, only 2 strikeouts. And Matt Droslik, who so far in this game is 0 for 1 with a walk, he's a guy that he has such a great eye, especially for his young age, and he's due for a hit at some point in this game.
Start off the bottom of the 5th here. Number 34, Droslik, just outside. Looks like they're going to give him that ball there. Christian Brown falling apart a little bit.
That's why Walker is in the bullpen, 1-0 count.
Ooh,
Really? They are not going to give that to
that
him.
looked like a cold strike from our point of view.
That looked like a curveball, not right down the middle, but that looked like it was in the zone. 2-0 count. That ball is going to be hit to third base. Drozlik trying to run it out, but the throw is in time to create the first out of the inning.
Evan Russ stepping onto the plate here, the home run hitter.
1 for 2 on the day, and of course, the home run into left field just absolutely crushed. That ball looked like it went about 336 if I can go back and remember. First pitch, they are not going to give it to Brown yet again. This strike zone with this umpire, I get it. You cut your hand, but still, that's no excuse for this strike zone to shrink. That ball is going to be hit in the center field, and it will land. Evan Russ, a double.
Yep, he's going to get his way on to second base.
The hot hand continues for Evan Russ.
Only one out with a trustworthy Alex Rudolph at the plate. Can the Rocks add on to their lead before the 6-7 inning stretch?
Rudolph, in his last at bat, he walked, and then he stole second and then stole third off of wild pitches. So the base running is looking really good for Rudolph. Just a little bit outside for Brown, 1-0 count. But something to note with Westfield, they are 4-0 on the season when they steal 4 or more bags. And right now, they're at 4. So that means hopefully they're going to win tonight. That one just by his leg, 2-0 count.
Runner on second base, one out.
And they're not
Another
going to
ball.
give that to him again.
3-0 count. Rudolph way ahead.
Brady Walker, his time might be coming soon, especially if another man is let on base. 3-0 pitch. They're going
There
to
it
give that
is.
to him. Once again, kind of a delayed call, but the curveball sticks near the bottom of the zone. 3-1 count.
Next pitch coming up.
Still a man on second. One pitch, that one is in the dirt, and it is going to be a walk.
Alex Rudolph makes his way to first base.
Second walk of the day, and now Tyler Gentry, who is 0 for 2 on the day, is up to bat.
Two very good base runners in Alex Rudolph and Evan Russ on first and second base.
And that looks like it's going to be the end for Christian Brown, and now Brady Walker, it's his time. Brady Walker so far on the season, an ERA of 0 with 3 appearances. The senior Brady Walker. Brady Walker, in his last appearance, he went 2 1/3 inning, gave up 1 run, 1 walk, and he struck out 2 batters. So not the worst, but not the best performance from Brady Walker. It looks like he's going to make a few warm-up pitches, and then we will be underway. I think now is the perfect time to bring up our upcoming broadcasting schedule. Tuesday against Lawrence Central at home. Thursday will be on the road at Noblesville, but then Friday we will be back in the broadcasting booth. I won't be there, but Evan Cummings and Aiden McNally will be with you on Friday against Noblesville, a 2-game series against the number 6 ranked team in the state in Noblesville.
Brady Walker getting some warm-up pitches in there. Let's go over some of his stats for the Trojans.
He's got some velocity. I will give him that just looking at him.
Has not started a game this year. He has 3 appearances, though. 0.64, or no, I'm looking at the wrong person. 0 ERA. Not sure if that's right or not, but
This is exactly what Center Grove needs. A guy with velocity and somebody that has command. As it's looking like Brown, he had the velocity but not the command. And it's looking like here that Walker is really finding his way in the strike zone in these warm-up pitches, and Tyler Gentry is up to bat.
Tyler Gentry, the Westfield hero, just a week and a half ago against Cathedral in that comeback win at home.
Could he get his 8th RBI of the season by bringing in Evan Russ, who is on second? Rudolph is on first. And now finally the first pitch of the at-bat will happen. 1 out, 2 men on base, 1 in scoring position. Walker, swing and a miss for Gentry on the off speed.
Nasty pitch there from Walker. Great first impression for the Trojans.
The one thing I don't like about Gentry is he has a very relaxed swing, and I feel like you need a little bit more of a fast swing, and sometimes it just looks like he's making these slow swings very relaxed. That one's going to drop in for a strike. I really don't get why he didn't swing at that.
There's at that one. 0-2 count, 1 out, runner on second.
Really didn't have the most velocity, and it was right down the middle. I mean, I really don't get why he didn't swing at that. 0-2 count, 1 out. That one is in the dirt.
Way outside for Walker. This will bring up an 1-0 count, or 1-2 count, sorry.
1 out with a man on second base. Gentry going into this game batting .263, and he is going to call time. One two count. Walker. So far looking good. That ball is going to be hit to Walker in the third
What
and
a
second
pickup.
is in time. And he went for the double play, and an error is made on the throw to first, and a run will come in with Evan Russ, and now 2 runners in scoring position.
Wow. Rocks take the 7-5 lead on Center Grove with a runner on second and maybe not third anymore. Maybe just second.
Ian Wilson.
But what looked like a strong start for Brady Walker was not. He already allows 1 run here in his first inning.
In Westfield, they are looking to do the impossible yet again. And as we see, Ty Anderson's running to the bullpen. Ty Anderson was not seen on the available pitching list, but Westfield, they're throwing in the kitchen sink. And a swing and a miss from Wilson.
0-1 count here. There's still a runner on second. I believe that is Tyler Gentry, the guy who just got the double.
0-1 count. Wilson is going to hit this ball into left field, and it will be caught for the second out.
Or the third.
And now the third out, actually. So Westfield, they strike back and take a 7-5 lead, and this game is really tight, 2-run ball game. You do not want to miss the rest of this game. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back, top of the sixth. Seth Nana is going back out there. And something to note, Ty Anderson is going into the bullpen. Anderson coming off 2 straight really good outings, and he would be a great force in the bullpen coming out to in relief. But also something to mention, I was told before the game by Jacob Culp himself that if the game is close enough, he will come in for the save. So that is something to watch out for. And Culp, he's been the best starter for this Westfield team all year. So to have him make his first appearance at home all season would be great.
Connor Lyford here to start off the 6th inning. The second to last inning for the Trojans. Seth Nana back out there, but as Rowan said, Ty Anderson is warming up in the bullpen.
A pinch hitter, Colin Lyford. A swing and a miss. That was an absolutely nasty pitch from Nana on the two-seam fastball.
Great pitch there by Nana. And those are the pitches he's going to have to make to keep the momentum in Westfield's favor.
A .71 batting average. And that one's going to not drop in, actually. Wow, that looked like a strike to me. One count. Nana. And batter is going to call time. Connor Lyford, 0.71 batting average. It doesn't get much worse than that, but he does have an RBI.
He only has 4 plate appearances all year.
That one just a little bit too high on the riser. 2-1 count.
.333 on base percentage for Lyford.
Even count for Nana. Still 0 outs. That ball is going to be hit to Ian Wilson and right by his glove, and that is going to go for a single. Connor Lyford looking good in his first at-bat of the game.
Moves that on-base percentage up a little bit.
Yep, just a little bit. Drew Culbertson, 1 for 2. Noah Coy was pinch hit in 4, so it kind of makes you wonder what happened to Noah Coy. It's kind of hard to tell from up here in the press box. And that one's going to be just a little bit below the zone. 1-0 count.
I'll call a ball on that one.
Culbertson 1 for 2 on the day so far. A pickoff throw is not in time. I really don't get the need for the pickoff throw there. I mean, he was not far off of the base at all.
Yeah.
Maybe it was for intimidation. Maybe. I don't know. 1-0 count, though.
Another one. Wow.
I really don't get it, though. He's not far off of the base at all.
2 in a row there for Nana. Trying to pick off Lyford. At first.
1-0 count, 0 outs. Nana looks to first. That was going to drop in for a strike.
Wow.
Curveball looking great.
Old strike for Nana. That's what he needs to try to get this count back on his side.
1-1 count for Nana. That one's going to be on the ground. And it looks like the runner will go to second base, a balk. And now a 2-1 count.
Now a runner on second for Center Grove.
I really don't get the need to balk on that pitch because if you think about it, this guy, he was not that far off of the base at all. Maybe he didn't balk as he's debating with the umpire who has his hand wrapped with Bennell. Is he trying to say he did not balk?
Like he did. They're going to confirm that he did balk.
Even if it wasn't his intention, you can't give any indication with your body movement that you're going to balk. You just can't do that. Even if you're not intentionally balking. And now a 2-1 count with a man on second, 0 outs. Culberson looking for his second hit. Anna looks back to second base. This ball is going to be hit to Drozlik on first base, and the runner will advance to third base.
Runner in scoring position for the Trojans on third base now. Getting a little scary for the Rocks defense here.
Now the center fielder, Garrison Burrell. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. It kind of makes you wonder, though, when will we see Ty Anderson, if we will at all?
One out, runner on third.
And first pitch of the at-bat. That one's just a little bit too high. Too much movement on the two-seam fastball. 1-0 count. Once again, a man on third. That ball is going to be fouled off, it appears.
Might want to watch out for my car out there.
Yeah.
That one's
Yeah.
sent into the direction of the parking lot.
On the bright side, though, you could have a souvenir on your windshield.
Yep.
A expensive souvenir, I will say, because you will have to replace your windshield. 1-1 count.
Umpire is
Yeah,
discussing with Center Grove dugout.
Stoppage in play, and Bennell is going to come back out.
The ball is busted, it looks like, so they're going to give Seth a new ball.
A busted ball. I mean, how often do you see that?
Not very often.
I mean, I'm holding the baseball right now. These things are really hard. I don't know how that could have happened with that baseball, but a 1-1 count. A swing and a miss on the off speed. Wow.
Got him swinging hard on that one. 1-2 count, 1 out, runner on third. And Nana put Burrell away.
That one is going to be fouled off. He's actually kind of lucky to make contact on that pitch because that looked really nasty. Nana looking to escape this inning unscathed, even though there is a man on third.
That would be 3 straight innings with no runs allowed for Seth, Nana.
Yeah. There have been some scares, though, but still, to have Ty Anderson possibly come back in this game in the 7th to close it out, or Jacob Culp even. I mean, 2 great options, or you keep Nana out there. Which, even though Nana's having a good outing, I really don't know how much I trust him in a closing situation. 1-2 count. Just a little bit too high for the umpire's liking.
2-2 count there.
But once again, the umpire's liking is shrinking as each batter comes up. 2-2 count. A swing and a miss. Absolutely nasty pitch from Nicholson. Not Nicholson, from Nana. They're going to say he actually made contact, though, and fouled that off. Really?
Which I did see a little contact, but
2-2 count.
I wasn't sure if that was off of his bat or off of him. He's
That
going to
ball
make
is going to be
contact with
grounded
that
to
one.
Gentry. The throw to first is in time, but I will say Burrell made a great effort to first base. He was close.
2 outs now. The runner on third for Center Grove did find his way home. It's going to be 7-6 Westfield now.
Now it's Evan Zapp back up to bat. 2-2 count. That ball is going to be just a little bit too high and a little bit too outside. 1-0 count.
Count here. That's going to
And
be
that is
way outside.
Way outside in the dirt. Wild pitch, but he is very lucky that nobody was on base. 2-0 count. I mean, especially if somebody was in scoring position too, that could have been an issue.
Yeah.
That ball is going to be fouled off. 2-1 count.
Tipped off straight into the Westfield dugout there. 2-1 count, even count for Nana. 2 outs.
Nana looking to go for his third straight inning with 0 earned runs, which the only earned runs he gave up were off of that 3-run RBI double in
Not
the
looking
third inning.
great for Center Grove here offensively.
Even count, 2-1 count. That ball is going to be hit into center field, shallow
like a
in the
pop fly.
infield, and it is going to be caught. And that will end the inning. We are going to the bottom of the 6th. It's make or break for this Westfield team. You do not want to miss it. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network.
We are back. You're watching the Westfield Sports Network. 7-6 Rocks in the bottom of the 6th. Can they pull off an upset? We'll just have to wait and see. Brady Walker remains on the mound for Center Grove. Up next to bat for the Rocks will be Eli Manbeck, who has had a solid game. But what the main point of focus for the Rocks here is defense. Can they hold on for just one more inning to bring this upset home?
I've got some news for you, and it just made me smile a little bit. Jacob Culp is in the bullpen warming up to possibly go for the save, which is just incredible. It would be his first time all season pitching in front of this home crowd.
Manbeck up to bat. Great game for him so far. Can he keep it up in a clutch situation?
He had that really clutch bunt earlier in the game. He's going to bunt yet again. It's perfectly placed yet again. Manbeck to first.
Save!
Not in time! Eli Manbeck, the second perfectly placed bunt in this game.
1 for 2 on the night. Make that 2 for 3 for the senior. Is that two bunts today for him? I believe it is.
I mean,
wow.
As a commentator, you never see a commentator getting so excited about a bunt, but I am. I mean, talk about an upset this would be. I mean, we heard people at school, people were chirping. They were saying Center Grove was the way better team. Westfield did not have the firepower to beat them, but here we are, one run ball game, and Lindsay's going to foul this one off. Lindsay's still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. But something to note, if Caden Lindsay does strike out here, he will get the dreaded golden sombrero, which means he struck out 4 times in a game.
Keep in mind, Braden Hibbler is on deck. He's 1 for 1 tonight.
With a walk, 0-1 count. And he's going to try and bunt again.
Lindsay tried to reach for the bunt there too. Westfield is starting to get aggressive.
And
It's
they're
do
going
or
to say
die.
he is out on the pickoff throw.
Wow.
And just like that, another out is added. Eli Manbeck was just way too off of the base, and great high IQ play by Walker to make that throw.
Count is 1-1 with 1 out. Triple ones on the board. 7-6 Rocks in the bottom of the 6th.
Aiden Lindsay, he's going to ground that one, and an error is possibly
Wow.
made. And would you look at that? Caden Lindsay makes it to first on an error and avoids the golden sombrero.
Third baseman drops the ball one time, tries to pick it up again. Can't pick it up for the second time in a row. And Caden Lindsay finds his way onto first base as number 10, Braden Hibbler, steps up to the dish.
Braden Hibbler 1 for 1 with a walk today, and that hit was actually a triple. So Hibbler having quite the day.
Old strike for Walker there.
That fastball had quite the movement on it, dropped just a little bit, but it lands in the zone. 0-1 count.
1 out, runner on first base.
Walker's going to step off, and there will be a mound visit between the catcher and Walker, the catcher, Easton Smith, who is 2 for 2 on the day. Now, if you're Westfield on the base paths with Caden Lindsay on first, who is a good base runner, what is your mindset?
Just, you got to go. It's do or die right now for Westfield. You've come way too far.
I like that mindset.
You've come way too far against the number 1 team on your home field to just throw it away and not get aggressive. You have to get aggressive against Center Grove, and that's exactly what Westfield's done all game. And they got to stick to it to bring this one home.
I totally agree, man. Smart minds think alike. 0-1 count. That ball is going to be hit in the center field by Hibbler, and it is going to be caught. And now 2 outs with a man on first.
Going to be Colin Lindsay stepping up to bat to follow Hibbler. Colin Lindsay 0 for 2 tonight.
Colin Lindsay 0 for 2 with a walk. Colin Lindsay in a bit of a slump this season. And it's really shocking considering the great season he had last year. But now is the perfect time to turn it around. With your brother on first base, your younger brother. That ball is going to be hit in the gap.
Finds
Would
the
you
gap.
look at that? Between the third baseman and the shortstop. And now Caden Lindsay's in scoring position, and Colin Lindsay is on first.
And on walks to the plate, the power hitter, Matt Drozlik. Can he find the gap to bring one of the Lindsay brothers home?
Drozlik, I will say with Drozlik, the power hitter, like you said, big body. Can he possibly put this game on ice and bring in a team-high 11th RBI?
0-1 tonight for Drozlik, but he did have a walk.
First pitch of the at-bat. Just
What
a little bit too low.
Had some good curve to it, but it curved a little too late, and it's going to find itself low and outside of the zone to bring up a 1-0 count.
That's why they call it the curveball, my friend.
Yep.
1-0 count. Walker's looking at second base.
Surprise.
Really?
Wow.
I really don't get that.
I was just about to say surprise Drozlik didn't swing like that, but now I guess we know why.
Just a little bit outside.
2-0 count.
2-0 count.
Runners on first and second. There is 2 outs, though.
Drozlik, can he get his 11th RBI of the season? Swing and a miss. He wanted all of that.
Even count for Walker.
I mean, if you're going to give Matt Drozlik a fastball like that, just a little bit too high, if you're going to give him that kind of pitch, I mean, you definitely expect him to swing, and that was just a nasty pitch by Walker. Just a nasty pitch.
That's going to hit Drozlik.
That hit Drozlik, and now the bases
Bases
are
loaded with Evan Russ, the home run hero in the first inning of the game. Can he repeat it and hit a grand slam possibly
Oh, that would be
to
incredible.
put the Rocks up 5?
2 for 3 with a double and, of course, a dinger into left field.
And if anybody in the Rocks ordered, this is the exact hitter you want in this situation, as Benell's going to call time here.
And we have a pinch runner coming in for Drozlik, which makes sense. It's going to be Drew Law. Drew Law has been the guy when it comes to pinch running. And fun fact, he has a perfect batting average on the season.
Wow.
Now keep in mind, 1 plate appearance, but still, perfect batting average.
Yep. A perfect batting average is a perfect batting average.
Yep. First pitch, Russ is going to foul that one off.
Oh, 1 count.
That one looked like it was heading straight to the parking lot.
Now, bases loaded, you're up 1. How many runs do you think Westfield needs right here to be safe in this next inning?
I mean, with Jacob Culp, you honestly you could be fine without scoring even. And that one's going to be fouled off. And you see Aiden McNally, he got a little bit scared as that went right above the press box.
Right in our direction.
I will say, I had that experience in the last game. Even with the fence and the window right here, it's still a little bit scary to have that ball coming straight at you.
Absolutely. One thing I do like about this at bat with Evan Russ is that he's getting very aggressive. He's trying to hit everything that comes his way, and that's what you need in this situation with bases loaded.
And that ball is going to be hit shallow into right field, and it will be caught, and that is going to end the inning. Top of the 7th. This is an absolute thriller. You do not want to miss it. You are watching the Westfield Sports Network. And we are back. Jacob Culp, in my opinion, the best starter on this Westfield team, is out here to close it out. Me and him were talking before the game, and he was telling me, if it's a close game, I'm coming out to save.
And he is doing that right now.
3.5 ERA for Jacob Culp on the season. He had an absolute gem of a performance against Brownsburg, going 6 in a 3rd inning, only giving up 2 hits, 0 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts. But in his last game against Fishers, he got absolutely shelled. He just had the perfect pitches, but they were just being hit. The off-speed pitches were being hit. He throws some really good pitches. I think overall his stuff is usually there most of the time, but it really just depends on who he's facing.
As number 3 for the Trojans is up to bat here.
AJ Beggs.
AJ Beggs.
AJ Beggs
0
tonight.
for 2.
Yep, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And Jacob Culp, when you're talking about strikeouts, he has that in his abilities. That had some heat on it, and it's just a little bit outside. 4-seam fastball.
And you wonder, Benell probably threw Culp out here to close this one out, obviously. But do you think he told him to use all his arm on all these pitches to close out this game?
I would. I mean, this would be quite the upset, especially with the way people were talking going into this game. This would be quite the upset. And that is going to make it a 2-1 count.
3-0 count.
Really? They're not going to call that a strike?
That one is cold strike in the center of the zone for Culp.
That fastball, just an absolute laser down the middle. 3-1 count.
And he's going to walk.
Oh, he will actually
Oh.
not walk. That was in the bottom of the zone.
Great pitch
He
there
threw-
by Culp.
He threw his bat. He was expecting to walk, and I really don't blame him. That was probably a walk. 3-2 count.
Full count for Beggs. Can Culp throw away this first at bat for the Trojans here? No,
Just
we cannot.
outside, and then now you can run to first. And he will just slam the bat into the ground.
I would say that's one of those ball don't lie moments in sports.
Ball don't lie.
I definitely think that was a strike in the pitch before the walk there. As now, I believe that is
Obi Cherry.
Obi Cherry.
He was hit by a pitch earlier, and he is 0 for 2, and he struck out. He's been all over the place tonight. That ball's going to be fouled off, just absolutely crushed into the
Wow.
parking lot. And somebody, I didn't hear anything, but it sounds like somebody might have to replace their windshield.
Maybe. That was an absolute crusher behind the field.
0-1 count. If I'm Culp, I'm going changeup. But instead, he's actually going to go for a pickoff throw, and he did not get him in time. I don't blame him. Beggs, he's really far off of the base. I don't blame him for going for the pickoff throw. A swing and a miss.
Swing. 0-2 count.
0-2 count. He did check his swing. That was an outside pitch, but he did check his swing. Culp, this is a huge moment in this game. I think he's going for another pickoff throw. Never mind. A little bit too high.
1-2 count, sorry.
The two-seam fastball just a little bit too high for Culp. One-two count.
A little outside there. It's going to be a
Just a little
2-2
bit.
count.
Just a little bit outside. But Culp, no need to panic. Still ahead in the count. Count.
Wow.
He got him! He got him!
What a curveball there by the senior Jacob Culp. And that puts one out on the board.
That curveball drops right in there. Absolutely nasty. And Westfield is now 2 outs away from securing an upset win with Bradley Gilliam, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and he walked twice.
Still have that runner on first base for the Trojans.
I think now is where he's going to start to get aggressive, and he's going to try and make a run to second base. Two outs away, Culp. And they're going to give that to him. Nice pitch.
Culp is giving it all he has right here in the last inning, which he should to secure this upset.
That two-seam fastball looked really good. And Beggs, he's really far off of the base. I think now you go for the pickoff throw. But obviously
He's thinking about it.
Obviously he is anticipating it.
That one's in the dirt. 1-1 count for Culp.
That fastball had a little bit too much movement, but that was thrown really hard. I wish we had a radar gun out here because that looked
very fast.
Very fast. You said it perfectly. 1-1 count.
Here's the pitch. A little bit too high. It's going to be 2-1. Even count here for Culp.
I think if I'm Culp, I probably go with a curveball on this pitch. Although it really hasn't had the location on the last couple of pitches. Let's see what he can do. 1 count, just a little bit outside.
3-1 count now. It is not looking the best for Culp here, as there's already a runner on first.
And that would mean Beggs, if there was a walk here, Beggs would go to second base, and there would be a man in scoring position with 1 out.
Here's the pitch.
He's swinging a miss!
Cold strike
Culp
there for Culp. What a pitch there, making Gilliam swing on that one.
That was absolutely nasty.
Full
3-2 count. There is so much that rides on this pitch.
Here it is.
3-2 pitch.
Pitch.
Swing and a miss! Jacob Culp, you are nasty!
As Brady Gilliam swings his bat down in anger. And here it is, number 7, the man of the hour, Easton Smith, to keep hopes alive here for the Trojans.
Easton Smith, 2 for 2 on the day. The catcher, Easton Smith. Can Jacob Culp pull off an upset win?
Still that runner on first. Here's first pitch, way
Just
in the
a
dirt.
little bit outside. As Lindsey attempted to possibly make a pickoff throw to first, but not in time. Lindsey kind of had to dive for that. That was a great play by Lindsey to block that.
Great catch. Very impressive catch.
Lindsey has not made an error at catcher all season, too, which is something to note. I will say Westfield, they have a great catching core with Colin Lindsey and Nick Alm.
Yeah.
I think those are 2 seniors that once they are gone after this season, they're going to be missed a lot.
1-0 count here. 2 outs, runner on first.
1-0 count.
Here's the pitch.
Swing and a
Cold
miss.
swing and a miss here. Hope is 1 strike closer to bringing this one home for the green and gold.
And now Jacob Culp, 1 strike away from ending this thing. And Westfield could pull off a huge upset at home.
1-2 count. 2 outs, runner on first. Will this pitch seal it? Yes, it
And
will.
that will do it! Jacob Culp with the save, and the Westfield Shamrocks pull off the upset of the century and advance to 7-5.
Westfield, a great upset over the Center Grove Trojans. What a win. What an upset. What a last inning performance from Jacob Culp.
Jacob Culp gave up 1 walk, and then after that just went into full attack mode. 3 strikeouts. Jacob Culp, you are the man.
Your final here at Westfield. Westfield Shamrocks 7, Center Grove Trojans 6. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at home.
I can't wait.
Absolutely. After a performance like this, I just want to fast forward. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Good night, Westfield.